Putin bad news. Thousands of Russians are planning to rise up against Putin's corrupt government. Our abilities are quite formidable. The Freedom of Russia Legion's commander, who only goes by the callsign Caesar, boasted that his force was equipped with mortars, armored vehicles, Stinger manpads, portable anti-tank systems, and a highly effective drone reconnaissance unit. According to The Times, the partisans' attack last week was the first ground battle on Russian territory since the war's inception and the first armed incursion into the Kremlin's domain since the Sino-Soviet border conflict of 1969. Authorities ended up having to evacuate hundreds of people before the partisans could return to Ukraine. Caesar claims that his group is as powerful as a battalion. There were no specifics given, but a battalion typically has 500–1,000 soldiers. The unit will eventually grow, though. According to Caesar, the anti-Kremlin partisans' current objective is to seize control of a portion of Russian territory, so that true Russian sons and daughters, true patriots, can join us. We will continue conducting these harassment raids until we have our own piece of Russian territory. Caesar predicted that once that happened, his army would rapidly expand, bringing an end to the Kremlin campaign. For the time being, his unit must rely on Russian nationals who have already established themselves in Ukraine. Caesar claims that thousands are ready to enlist, and that most of them sneak in through neutral territory. There is an increasing number of people signing up to join us, he said. Anyone interested in joining the Legion can do so by getting in touch with Legion representatives. Each potential employee is carefully vetted before being hired. Those who are chosen will be given proper training before being deployed to the front lines. Caesar joked that he had purchased most of his unit's gear from websites like AliExpress and eBay, as well as from Russian military surplus stores. The 49-year-old makes a point of differentiating his team from the Kremlin's mercenaries. Unlike Wagner, we are neither a gang nor a private military firm. We fight within the Ukrainian Armed Forces established framework, he explained. Ukraine's defense and liberation from foreign occupation is our top priority. When that's over, we're going home to set it free. Caesar described the raid, the evacuation of Russian officials, and the confusion that ensued when the Russian military counterattacked. He claims that the Freedom of Russia Legion was able to capture equipment and take prisoners from FSB units after they fled under partisan artillery fire. Regular army units, including artillery and the Air Force, were called in as the partisans continued to advance deeper into territory controlled by the Kremlin. Caesar was surprised to learn that Russian forces had used the same strategy of indiscriminate shelling of civilian targets that they had in Chechnya, Syria, and Ukraine. They were, blindly, firing in the general direction they believed the partisans to be, resulting in unnecessary casualties among the civilian population. Normal people in Russia. More and more Russians are realizing that this war is criminal and it should be stopped, Caesar remarked. He went on to say that in today's Russia, strength is valued more than diplomacy. The Freedom of Russia Legion wanted to demonstrate their power by conducting the raid. The partisan has lofty, but long-term, objectives. We can't guarantee that we'll arrive in Moscow by tomorrow. This will occur once the Ukrainian military successfully frees Crimea. If Putin loses in Crimea, his political system will collapse. Now is the time to deal Moscow an absolutely crushing blow. Caesar said, "This is what we are training for,